Hi, welcome to Code with Ben and Tech. Okay, so in this section, we'll continue from where we stopped in our previous example. So, in our previous tutorial, I made mention that we'll be using four different ways by which we can create a server. Okay, so basically, this is the last way. Okay, so this is the last example that I want to teach you guys. Okay, so let's start so that we can make headway. All right, so in this, we'll first have to import the module as usual. So const http, all right, require http. Okay, then we have const server, then we have http dot create server as usual. Okay, then we have rec res. Okay, then we use the arrow function. Okay, all right, so we use the arrow to define the function. All right, so what we are saying that if the request, okay, and the URL, okay, is equal to, so we are using the strict equal to sign. Okay, all right, so it's equal to the forward slash. Okay, that's basically by default is basically the home page. Okay, what are we sending? We have res.end. So we are sending this feedback if the user logs into our home page. Welcome to our home page. Okay, all right. Then we also have another condition. Okay, so we say else if rec.res is equal to, okay, now we are not using the forward slash alone, we are using the forward slash and about. Okay, so if the user wants to inquire, okay, about us, okay, what we are supposed to send is we'll send res.end. uh, you have been redirected to our about page. Okay, all right, so basically that is it for that. Then when we are done with, okay, we need to close this bracket, right? Okay, all right, then when you're done here, then we have the else. Okay, so the else basically runs uh, for any other thing aside these two. Okay, so we are saying that if the user requests for anything that is not listed or that we've not defined, okay, this is what it's supposed to represent. Because we'll be writing the else, okay, in an HTML tag, we open it with the backtick. Okay, in my earlier discussion I showed you where the backtick is below the escape button. Okay, on the top left corner, okay, on your keyboard. All right, so below the escape you see the backtick. Okay, all right, so you click on it. All right, then let's define what we want to print to the body, okay, or want to send to the client when the user requests for any other thing aside the home and the about. Okay, so we have h1 here. That's we are using the header one. Okay, we close the header one here. All right, then what do we input into the header? We say oops. Okay, all right, then we are not done. We also want to add include what is called the P as a paragraph. Okay, let's close the paragraph. So let's close it. Okay, so what do we input? Okay, we will say that we seem not not sorry, seem not to find the resource you are requesting. Okay, All right, so we send this as feedback if the user requests for anything aside what we defined. Okay. All right. So when we are done here, let's close this bracket. Okay. All right. So after closing this bracket, I think we also need to close another bracket, which is this one. Okay. All right. So let's close that one. Okay. All right. So when we are done here, then as usual, we need to have a listener. Okay. All right. So we have because we as you can see here, because we defined this function, okay, and we place it inside a variable, we need to call the variable. So we can't use the normal one that we usually have, the dot listening. Okay. All right, because we need to call this variable, okay, which is holding the function. Okay. All right, so let's do that. So the name of the variable is server. So server dot listing, okay, on port as usual 8080. Okay. All right. Okay, so then we are done with this one. Let's run it. Let's run the server. Okay, the server is running. Now let's go to the home page. So you can see, welcome to our home page. Okay, when the user goes to search for about, so you can see we have been redirected to our about page. Okay, so when the user tries to search for anything outside the home page and about, let's say uh, HTML, right, which is not defined, so you can see, oops, we still have to find the resource we about you are requesting. Okay. All right, so basically this is the last way by which we can define the create server. Okay, so I'll see you again in my next tutorial.